Mike McKay of Canada Basketball says that the most missed shot in basketball is the poor angled layup. Lindell Singleton, a high school coach in Dallas, Texas, said that layups in high school girls basketball, layups are finished twice as successfully when shot off 2 feet as when shot off 1 foot. However, the most practiced shot in basketball is the perfect 45-degree angle, traditional jump off your inside foot, finish with your outside hand layup. It starts every youth practice. You shoot them for 10 minutes pregame before every game. It's the shot that most players or the players shoot most often, and it's a shot that is very seldomly actually shot in a game. And one of the reasons is that the shot in practice, the traditional layup, lacks the same constraints that are present during a game. So when in a game, the type of layup that I'm going to shoot is determined both by my individual constraints and task constraints. So my individual constraints specifically will be, my size, my skill level, and my handedness coming in for a shot. The task constraints are going to be determined primarily by the defense, the speed of play, where my teammate might be, whether I'm shooting off of a dribble or shooting off of a catch. These are kind of some of the task constraints that are going to play a role in a shot. And when we practice, we need to include these same task constraints. As I talked about a little bit yesterday, we need to incorporate the decision making. We need to incorporate the information from the environment, from the game that's present during a game into our practice drills. So as I come in for a layup, I have to judge what the best form of a layup for myself to shoot. So if I'm a small, quick player in a given situation, I probably want to shoot a different type of shot than if I'm a big, powerful, strong interior player. If I'm a lot bigger than the defensive player that I'm going to go up against, I probably just want to get off 2 feet, get on balance, and use my strength. If I'm a smaller, quicker player, I might need to shoot the ball early, shooting something like a floater, okay? Or I might use some kind of deception like a Euro step, or possibly going underneath the basket for a reverse layup, something of this nature. So, and the decision to make that shot or to choose which type of shot to use is part of the shot. And again, that's absent in most drills that are used to practice layups. So every day online, I see a coach bemoaning the number of layups that his or her team missed in a game, and we lost by 2 and we missed 5 layups or whatever it may be. But then you go back and most of their layup practice is a traditional outside hand, inside foot, 3/4 speed layup. And even some of the better drills are primarily chaser drills where you're doing the same basic layup, but now you have a defensive player coming behind, so you have to maintain your speed and the intensity of the movement, which is better, but it's not the same type of constraints that are typically seen, especially in a half-court layup situation where you have a help defensive player rotating over, or you have your defender on your hip, as opposed to trailing all the way behind you in different situations. So to improve layup performance, one, we need to realize what Coach Singleton said. And in a lot of situations, especially when you're anticipating contact, jumping off 2 feet is often the better choice. And then two, we need to practice those poor angled shots that Coach McKay talks about. He talks a lot about being able to shoot a layup with your elbow extended away from your body and not just driving your elbow straight to the basket as with a more traditional layup form. So these are things that we need to incorporate into our practice and encourage players to try more so that they can be more successful in games.